I've debated on this, but after looking in here today, they're building up, but not as quickly. Obviously, not as quickly as I want. It takes 3 brood cycles, really, to build up a population. I haven't given them that long. I don't have that long to give them. I have 2 choices, well, 3 really. Leave them alone, to combine, or to go ahead and put them over a double screen board and continue to give them time. And I think the best intervention for me, for my situation right now, is to give them just warmth, so that at night, so that, and I guess during the day also, so that they can have a chance. So I think, yeah, I think that's kind of the right move right now. I wore this jacket today. It is not cool enough for me to wear this jacket. I am sweating. You know, it might be worth it to put a frame feeder in here just to occupy space. I'll strongly consider doing that. It acts as an insulator also. This hive has got nice brood pattern. These are pretty much, these outer, this is pretty much all honey over here, nectar, honey. This time of year, the humidity's in the 80s and 90s, they don't cap. So no matter how dry they get it, they tend not to cap it. This is a shim that I created out of an old inner cover. Wow, they've put on some weight. So they're doing something right. Oopsie. Look, this is telling me their population is just not sufficient. There's larvae down here from wax moth. They can't defend against the wax moth. And there's all this syrup. Which, you know, it is what it is. Put that spacer in there. And again, I'm giving them a good chance, best chance I feel like I can give them. I think once these days get to the point where I actually need a jacket instead of just wearing it because I thought I might need it, that's really when I think we get to the, okay, do these, you know, the question, do these bees deserve more of an opportunity? Right now, yeah, they deserve an opportunity because even though it's almost January, believe it or not, I have time. You know, I say winter, we really don't have a winter here. We have a wet season that gets a little chilly. So everything I'm doing here really is not as desperate as I feel. All right, so I'm really gonna set this off center. Put a brick on it. Go ahead and take this back and put it away. All right, well, if anyone wants to see me get stung, they don't like me for some reason, this is the hive that's gonna do it, so wish me luck. Like I said, and honestly, shouldn't say this, but because I'm a doctor, if I get stung, I just prescribe myself something like some cortisol, like some cream. It takes care of it very well. So probably shouldn't admit that, but it doesn't bother me too much to get stung anymore. I think I'm gonna give them some feed because this top box is a shallow, and it's really about as heavy as you would expect a shallow to be. But I will feed them. They've got a really nice brood nest, and they are actively eating that pollen patty. So let's go ahead and give them one of these. And they get the full treatment because they don't have a hive top feeder, so it doesn't need a slice in it. Again, it curls up, so I just secure the back like that with get my hive tool in there. That's good enough. Like, it's got a little spot that's not perfectly covered, it's fine. They'll propolize it down if it's a little small area. Okay, so they're going to get fed a little later. I'm going to attempt to put this in without getting stung up too badly. Today, in some regards, is not my day with the bees. I really made one of the hives mad, and they're all a little on edge right now because they can smell it. Smoke is helping. Okay, so that the hive entrance reducer is in. The vapor barrier is on. I'll give them some feed, and they'll keep that feed relatively warm. Wow, it's windy today. And they'll keep that feed relatively warm, and they'll be able to consume it a lot longer than what you would think. And you could just see there. Oh, I'm dreading this. Oh, I was smart enough to put that pollen patty up there. Give them a little tap, tap, taparoo. Knock, knock, we're home. Please don't sting us. Oh, look at this is an interesting spider. Not sure what it is, but I really don't want it to bite me. Okay. Pretty calm up here. Let's take a look. Oh man, that is heavy. Okay. So again, you know, this hive typically stays calm when you open the lid until you manipulate them in any way, and then they just are out for blood at that point. It is pretty spectacular, and if I wasn't getting stung, it would be like this. I'm like shaking them off. Any other hive, they wouldn't care. I'm gonna get stung. So it was nice knowing you guys. There we. Come on. All right. Let's try to get a reducer in here. You know what? That's reduced enough for now. I'll come back later when they're less angry. It's really interesting to see the bees on Hive 2, the one on the left, have a clear preference to come in the left side of the hive. And I put the reducer entrance on the right side. They're finding their way in, but there's definitely a bottleneck. On Hive 3, the one on the right, you can see I did put the entrance reducer on the side that they seem to prefer. So that's good for now. It looks like I'm bottlenecking them, which I kind of am, but it's just because it's the morning and they're bringing in that morning nectar. It's fine. They're all going to be okay. Most of the other times of the day, there's almost no activity. But I see a lot of pollen, and that makes me really happy. Well, thus far, I've only really shown kind of what the bad stuff this fall, but let me show you some of the good stuff. This is a double brood chamber, a very strong hive. When I did my open feeding, between that and the what was naturally occurring, they built white wax, and they just completely covered up all the way up to the lid. They've consumed a good bit of this pollen patty. And have a look at this. I would say they're ready for the winter. The whole box is just full. We don't have that long of a winter here. That's a good and a bad thing. They say more active, so they may chew through this a little more quickly. But if they don't, then we're also looking at a really strong spring buildup. So I'm good with it either way. Go home. There you go. Always dropping everything here. It's a little windy today. One trick when you're trying to lay anything into a hive, newspaper, covering, anything like that, whatever direction the wind is blowing from, put your hive tool and point it in that direction. And that typically works. I don't want these bees to be stuck up here forever. There we go. Alright, so they're sealed up. Realistically, I probably could just not touch these at all and be done with these until around February, when the almond trees start, January, February, when the almond trees start to bloom. This is all that white wax they built up. Look at that. I think they're doing pretty well.